Last December, there was a Christmas party at number 10. A week since we learned about it, Boris Johnson's spokesperson insists there was not a party at number 10. The party took place when COVID rules made such gatherings illegal. Boris Johnson's spokesperson said, "I don't need to get into the positions we've taken, it's simply a statement of fact." But this isn't simple, because ever since the Daily Mirror broke the story, the government's been trying to explain that what happened was within the rules and that it wasn't a party, without offering any evidence to back up either claim. There was this from the Prime Minister last Wednesday.
All guidance was followed completely during number 10.
Then there was the Vaccines Minister, Maggie Throop, on Question Time last Thursday.
I have been reassured that all guidance was carefully followed as it continually is.
Does that answer your question?
No evidence was offered to justify that reassurance. Then at the weekend, we heard from Dominic Raab, the Justice Secretary and Deputy Prime Minister, who appeared on Andrew Marr's programme.
Last Christmas, were Christmas parties allowed in London?
So look, if you're so generally no.
No.
This is backed up by BBC Reality Check, which notes any party at Downing Street would have breached the government's guidelines at the time. When shown the guidance, Mr Raab agreed that its meaning was clear.
Of course, if there was a formal party held, of course that's something that was clearly contrary to the guidance that you just cited.
The Justice Secretary talked there about a formal party, but the law made no distinction between types of party. It stated that no person may participate in a gathering in the Tier 3 area which consists of 2 or more people and takes place in any indoor space. Government guidance at the time said you must not have a work, Christmas lunch or party where that's a primarily social activity. But on what happened in Downing Street, Mr Raab said it's impossible to answer the allegations on the basis of anonymous sources. The Justice Secretary did, though, accept this.
We can agree it was wrong. If it happened, it was wrong.
If something unsubstantiated from anonymous sources actually materialised, then of course it would be wrong.
Materialising information on this, though, ought to be possible. Remember, as one source told the BBC, food and drink was laid on for staff, including those from the press office and the number 10 events team, and party games were played. These are people who worked closely with the government, who were working in number 10. And yet on Monday, the government was still questioning if something that we know happened had happened. The Crime and Policing Minister, Kit Malthouse, talked to BBC Breakfast.
I don't even know if an event took place, but if it did, that no rules were broken.
The Crime and Policing Minister doesn't know if the event took place, but an event did take place. An event that, if multiple accounts are correct, would have breached government guidelines. That party took place on the 18th of December. There are also multiple reports of another event on the 27th of November. The Guardian says this was a leaving party, believed to have been for Cleo Watson, a former aide to Dominic Cummings. It goes on to say a source with knowledge of the gathering said Johnson came in and made a speech mentioning how crowded it was in the room before leaving shortly afterwards to continue working. At this time, there was a national lockdown. Indoor social gatherings were banned unless within a household bubble. And police were looking for rule breakers. Weeks later, on the 17th of December, the Met told us how officers have shut down a wedding where 40 people were in attendance. It went on. Holding large gatherings could be the difference between life and death for someone else. London is in Tier 3. You must not mix inside with anyone who is not in your household or support bubble. Also in December last year, Leicestershire Police shared this video showing a raid on a gathering.
Everyone out now! Whoa! If you don't live here, get out!
Guys, what is over, yeah?
The party was over. 2 people got £10,000 fines each for a gathering of 60. And the police continue to take action now. Here's Tristan Kirk of the Evening Standard reporting the Met Police happens to be, this week, prosecuting an alleged illegal gathering on December the 18th last year. Not in Downing Street, but a house in Ilford. Remember that one source had told the BBC the Downing Street party in December was attended by several dozen people. But this weekend, the Met said this: it's our policy not to routinely investigate retrospective breaches of the COVID-19 regulations. And in response to letters from Labour MPs, it said, we will, however, consider the correspondence received. And while we all consider the gap between government assurances and available evidence, the Prime Minister has been launching a clampdown on drug dealers. And he's been asked again about last December, to which Mr Johnson told the Liverpool Echo, on this business that's in the media constantly, all I can say is no COVID rules were broken, and there you go. And so, once again, we have Mr Johnson telling us rules weren't broken in Downing Street while offering no explanation of how this can be true. And now we have Mr Johnson's spokesperson saying a party didn't happen when, by all other accounts, it did.